Hello and welcome to Newspaper Review here on TAP TV, where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines. I am Obed Jerry, your host for today, and with me here is Ekon Bright, aka the Football AI.
Yeah, nice to be here.
It's good to have you here on the show again.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's another bright and beautiful day. It's the Harmattan season, as we can see, and Nigerians are just everywhere's dry. Nigerians are just going about their day, trying to get on with everything. It's a mixed feeling of both the Nigerian weather and the European weather, and then we have the festive period coming around. So for us Nigerians currently, it's a mixed feeling. It's a mixed feeling. We are sniffing Christmas. So and we hope everything just goes as planned in terms of the country's economy, so that people can have the purchasing power to get whatever they need, so that they can celebrate with their family this festive period.
Exactly, because it seems like this is the only time when everyone has to spend with family.
Yeah, definitely. One time where family come together and merry. Yeah, that's why it's called Merry Christmas.
Exactly. All right, you too can also be a part of this program. Do well to like, drop a comment, turn on the notification button, subscribe to our channel, follow us across all our social media handles, so that when we drop videos like this, you get to see it firsthand. Without wasting much of our time, we'll be looking at the first newspaper for the day, looking at the Daily Independent newspaper, and we see here at the top story reads, Court confirms Fubara's loyalist, as Rivers Assembly. Details of the story is found on page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper. Airlines to stay paying compensation on delayed, cancelled flights come January, says Keyamo. Details of the story is found on page 7 of the Daily Independent newspaper. We see here at the top headlines, it reads, to boost electricity supply, FG plans to restructure transmission. Sub-story under that reads, admits power privatization exercise is disappointing. Details of the story is found on page 7 of the Daily Independent newspaper. This story at the bottom line here reads, Lagos boast of zero bank robbery 4 years in a row. This is actually a good story to brag about, at least zero bank robbery. And see, knowing that Lagos is a place dominated with so many banks.
Yeah. What they are trying to say is that the security measures that is being taken up by the Lagos State Governor and the government in general is, for us there, it's for people living in Lagos, it's top notch, and I feel like it's a good one for Nigeria and a good record. And if other states can keep up with this also, I think it'll be a good one. I think 3 to 4 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was a robbery in Benue State where a copper was killed from my school and all of that. So if other states could keep up with the security measures in their states, then it would be a good one for Nigeria in general.
Exactly. And then from another angle, why I feel like the robbery issue reduced drastically is because of the jungle justice that happens there. You know, Lagos is a very wild place where any robber is catched, they burn the person instantly without even a second thought or trial from the court.
Even though it's not a good one or something to smile about, we still pray that the rule of law always comes into play and plays its role as trying to keep law and order in the community and the country as we find ourselves.
All right, still on the newspaper, this headline here reads, Tinubu unveils ambitious healthcare plans for Nigeria. Sub-story under that reads, ask Senate to confirm 19 nominees as MPC commissioner. Okay, the president has healthcare plans for us. Let's see, even if it's only for the aged ones, at least those ones above the age of 60, 70 and beyond that.
No, when I read that story on the paper, it was based on the UHC event that was held recently in Abuja, and the president was there to give his speech when he made mention of his plan and his ambition to give Nigeria a better healthcare facility and try to boost the healthcare sector. Truth is, I feel for every year, new development come in, new technology and all of that, and if I'm not mistaken, I would say Nigeria is actually lacking behind in terms of our healthcare sector, and this is due to the fact that we don't have standard equipment in our facilities. We don't have even the good structures to call hospitals where ordinary citizens can go in and get a good healthcare treatment. And besides all of this, we find out that since these things are not being put in place, since we don't have the 5-star or the 5-star healthcare sector that we hope to have as a country in Nigeria, based on the fact that in the world currently, if we take India out of it, the best or the next country to talk about that have the best doctors in the world is Nigeria. We have good surgeons and other healthcare workers, and they are doing exceptionally well. But we found out that in our country, these persons tend to, they're not valued, and at the same point, they tend to jackpot, they leave the country and get to find greener pasture elsewhere. If you go to US, the UK, you find out that Nigerians that are doctors are the one heading the medical fields, or over 70. We have them doing so much work out there. And if we don't have, if things continue as they were, years to come, we will be suffering from high loss of deaths, and this is not what we clamor for. Now, the healthcare sector and other sectors, that's the educational sector, in terms of security, these are the basic needs of Nigeria. And for me, I feel like it's a good one for the president to come out and say yes, he has plans to make it better, and he has an ambition to make it accessible for the low-earning citizens, so that they can get the healthcare need that they wanted. So for me, it's a good one, but is this what we're supposed to be talking at this point in time? No, because I think Nigeria has gone past the point where we should be talking about upgrading or giving ourselves good healthcare sector, because we have a basic right to life, and having a good healthcare sector is one of the things that could actually give us that thing that we need. So for me, it's a good one coming from the president, but is it the right time? No. And now he's coming out to say he has plans, he has visions to make things better. Let's just hope that it comes to reality. Let's just hope that it comes to light, because we have governments or governors or presidents coming into power and say this is what we want to do. The subsidy that they have removed ever since, we don't see how it's being used, how it's being put into management, and you're coming again to make another promises. So we pray, we as Nigerians, we pray that this plan that he says he has, this vision that he says he has in the healthcare sector, come into reality.
Exactly. Well, I feel there's something to worry about. What's his definition of making the healthcare sector better? What's his plan towards it? Is he making it better in the standard that them as government parastatals will be able to use it, or would, after everything being said and done, they will still fly abroad to get their treatments and medical cures?
Well, this is one of the things that we Nigerians we frown out. We frown at actually,
because it's hard to see as low as a House of Rep member using our normal general hospital.
They tell you that they want to go for a checkup, and the next minute they are going to France. The next minute they are going to US. Yeah, say it's a medical checkup and all of that. But if you can make our hospitals
as standard as that,
yeah, so why won't you do your checkup here? Because we have these doctors that you are going to meet, they are Nigerians, and if you are paying them well, giving them the basic things that they need to do the checkup, like in terms of modern facilities, then definitely we would have a good healthcare sector here in Nigeria.
Exactly. But from another angle, I feel why they are scared to make use of, let's say, few of them that are corrupt, because the guilt in them. When you've offended so many people, you don't entrust your life and healthcare into their hands.
That is why you have to do the needful. Give us the basic thing that Nigerians are not clamoring for so much. Come to look at it. We are not clamoring for so much. Give us a good healthcare sector, a good educational sector, tackle insecurity. Give us a platform whereby our purchasing power can be able to get the basic things that we need, which is food and other consumable goods. Then we are good to go. Nigerians are survivors. See, let me tell you the truth. Nigerians, as we are currently, we don't depend on the government, because the citizens in general, the money flow or the cash flow revolves around us. We work our asses out every day. We wake up as early as 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, hit the ground running, just like the president say. We go out, get the things that we need. We hustle and bustle just so we can feed ourselves. We don't need their palliatives or whatever. What we are asking for, give us a good healthcare sector, give us a good educational sector, tackle insecurity, whereby a citizen, an ordinary citizen can survive, can work freely at any hour of the day. Then we are good to go as Nigerians.
Exactly. All right, let's move away from that story and look into the next newspaper for the day. We'll be looking at the Daily Trust newspaper, and it's leading Ondo Akeredolu goes on medical leave again, hands over to deputy. It is a story is found on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. This is what we were just saying a few seconds ago.
Yeah, definitely, because coming into this one, this was the same thing that happened the last time when you went for medical checkup. They brought issues in the state. So
now he's moving out again.
Nigeria is something else.
All right, still on the newspapers here, it reads FG to spend 600 billion naira on electricity. Take that again. FG to spend 600 billion naira on electricity subsidy in 2023. 6 unbundling of TCN. Details of the story is found on page 20 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Gunmen kills 4 soldiers in Rivers. Details of the story is found on page 8 of the newspaper. My condolences to the family of the bereaved and to the military in general.
Yeah.
Because this time now, that area would be a hostile area for everybody.
Definitely.
The military would come out
in full force,
arrest and anybody that revolts, even people that didn't even know about what happened.
I just feel like people in that environment should be careful on their movements, how they go about. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Still in the newspaper, it reads, at the bottom story here reads, Kaduna massacre, villagers sue federal government, demand 33 billion naira compensation. Remember that thing, that's
the bombing, yeah. Kaduna, yeah, definitely.
But since the military has come out to accept the blame and that they purposely they did a mistake, rather. What is the essence of the villagers suing them of that? No,
the money they are asking for is for them to move on. It's more like compensation. Yeah, for the lives that are. No, we know that no amount of money can bring back the dead. Yeah, definitely. But these persons, they need to continue with their life. We don't know the loss they had, the property, who had died. Maybe that person is the breadwinner of the family, and we know that. Looking at the money, you might think it's just for 10 families, but no, it's more than that. Yeah. So to go around the whole people. So that's what we are clamoring for, and we hope that the government look into this and tend to compensate these persons.
All right, this story here reads, concerns over abducted students as airstrike kills bandits leader, Hawaje. Sub-story under that reads, over 50 other villagers still in captivity. Sub-story again reads, parents worried, pray for safe return. Late kingpin behind 2021 Air Force jet crash. Powerful illegal miners sponsor banditry, says federal government. Details of the story is found on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. What are your thoughts on this headline over the abducted students?
Now, this story basically is not about the abducted students per se, but as we know, it's the kingpin that was terrorizing Zamfara and
one of the bandits.
For over a long period of time, for years now, and he has been the head of the Islamic group that had been terrorizing these people, kidnapping both students and villagers and asking for huge amount of ransom. And when these ransoms are not paid, he tends to kill these people. So the people of Zamfara are kind of happy in a sense when the news came out I think that was last week or early this week, that he was killed in an airstrike that was carried out by the Nigerian Air Force. The story reads that himself and some of his commandants were killed at the early hours, and when people heard the news, they were so happy that yes, this person that was terrorizing us, giving us sleepless nights, people had to run away from their houses. People had to leave their farms and go into hiding because of the amount of threat that he poses to the community around. And for the varsity students, what happened was that over time, he has been kidnapping students from university in Zamfara and also I think in Nasarawa, if I'm not mistaken. And the students were amounted to like 50 or more. And now parents that are heard the news were happy that yes, something like this has happened and the Nigerian military are working, but they would have hoped for him to be arrested. Yeah, so that they can get their family members back. Yeah, but this is not the case, and at this point in time they are scared of what is going to happen to these abducted students and other people that are adopted.
That his junior workers and other bandits are still alive.
In camp. Yeah, definitely. Over time, there has been news coming out that he has been killed, he has been arrested several times, and it turns out to be false. But this time, it was confirmed by his younger brother through an unknown source that didn't want to reveal himself. That the brother admitted to the fact that him and his commandants were killed through an airstrike. So now the thing is, who is going to be the next in power? Because that is definitely what's going to happen. As a kingpin has gone, it's a continuous process, because he has recruited more men or more guys who are in line with whatever he's doing. So now the next question is, who is going to be in line? Who is the Nigerian government going to be negotiating with in terms of releasing these abducted kids? In a way, you can say yes, the Nigerian military is working. It's a good one for them, taking out these persons, and on another thought, you look like, oh, the life of these abducted persons is definitely at risk, because these bandits can go ahead and massacre these people, and we don't know what they might come out to do again. Maybe they might come out in 100-fold and decide to just rampage the whole area and get more people kidnapped. But in all, I think that the security in that area should be intensified. There should be patrol teams hovering around, scouting to see if they can find clues or signs that will lead them back to where these persons are kept. Now, people are scared that maybe the abducted students would have been in the same area where this attack happened. But from what we are hearing, we don't think that is true. We feel like these persons were kept somewhere else, and where the Kawaje was killed and where the strike happened is a different place entirely. So it's a good one for the Nigerian government. We just pray that the lives of the abducted varsity students is at ease, because we know it's not going to be an easy situation.
Exactly, knowing that bandits are the mentality they have is a very ruined one. They are ready to, in the process of taking life, lose their own lives.
Yeah, definitely. And Nigerians, at this point in time, we are looking at a point where we would tackle and clear out any form of insecurity. We are still crying for the ones that happened with the PCM, the coppers that were going to camp, and we hear that the people are asking or demanding for this ransom of, I think, 70 million or thereabouts, and up until this time we've not heard anything from the federal government or state government. How
many parents have that 70 million and their children didn't take flights to their destination?
No, these persons, they are not demanding directly from the parents of these people, but from the federal government or the state government, where these persons are coming from. So we just hope something better would come out of this whole situation, and the lives of these persons could be restored back. They could go back about their business or whatever, and make Nigeria a better place. That is what we pray and clamor for.
Exactly. All right, we'll go for a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at the last newspaper for the day. So stay tuned.
Children's Studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that very quick break. I must commend you for staying up to this time. Let's look on to the last newspaper for the day. We're looking at the Nigerian Tribune. The first headline here reads, Naira tumbles at official parade market. Details of the story is found on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Federal government to unbundle TCN into two entities. Sub-story on the right reads, says gas pricing in dollars impacts electricity tariff. Details of the story is found also on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Akeredolu begins medical leave today. Transmits power to Ayedatiwa. Details of the story is found on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We see at the banner headline here reads, powerful Nigerians involved in illegal mining, funding banditry, terrorism, says federal government. it's obvious that there are people that are funding these bandits because they are almost every time at their hiding places. But now these people now are having two offenses. You are funding banditry and you are an illegal miner.
No, what's happening at that story definitely tends to look at the Minister for Natural Resources when he came out to defend the 2023-2024 budget, and he was pleading to the House to uphold the budget to fund his ministry, owing to the fact that up until this time, the government has been the one financing and carrying out whatever it takes in terms of mining and digging out natural resources,
And
maintenance and all of that. So he's trying to privatize the whole mining industry, making it possible for private individuals to also be a part of this body, so that they can harness natural resources that we have in Nigeria. For him, he feels like Nigerians are not even getting the benefits that we should have in terms of natural resources. Nigeria is one of the countries that has one of the largest natural resources in terms of diversity, and looking at what we have, it should have generated more revenue than what is generating currently. And for him, it feels like Nigerians are too focused on petroleum and agriculture, and we are undermining the effect that mining could actually give to the Nigerian revenue and in terms of reserves and all of that. And he's telling them that the House, that if they can uphold the budget that is being given to them in terms of his ministry, that he himself is promising them that he's going to give out 1 trillion naira in terms of revenue, that's income from his own ministry, not looking at other ministry, that his ministry is going to give that much money back to the Nigerian federal government. And why all of this is happening is that why Nigerians are not seeing the benefit of mining is because we have politicians that are powerful persons that are funding these illegal miners, both local and foreigners. That is why we don't tend to get the benefits that we're supposed to get from mining. And he's saying to them that if these people are being caught out, if we take this whole mining stuff out of the hands of the federal government and privatize it, then we are going to get the benefit and the basic results that we tend we're supposed to get definitely from it.
Exactly. Right, still on the newspapers, this headline reads, Ogun kicks off GRA regeneration scheme. Sub-story on that reads, set to create modern cities in Abeokuta, Ijebu-Ode, orders. Details of the story is found on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Alleged food poisoning. Osun government orders full investigation. Affected students discharged from hospital. You heard of the story of the students that were poisoned in Osun State University.
Yeah, it's a sad one. It's a sad one.
Because some persons are not professionals in the aspect of food and anything related to eateries and restaurants.
Yeah, that's why the state government would have to look into the matter seriously, and
that's the full duty of the NAFDAC.
Yeah, that's what we're clamoring for. The lives of our citizens are very important, and products that people should purchase out there should be looked into. You find out that most of the products that we have in Nigeria, you tend to see NAFDAC approved, but honestly speaking, it's not approved by NAFDAC. So we think that there should be more checks and balances in terms of what is going out as commodity, as consumable goods to our citizens. And if that is being done, then the lives of every citizen would be at some point in care and safety.
Exactly. Right, still on the newspaper, it reads, Customs investigating female officer demanding 5,000 naira bribe at Lagos Airport. This is from page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. You see here the main headline here reads, resume payments of 35,000 naira wage award immediately. TUC asks federal government. Sub-story under that reads, expresses worry over Nigeria's debt profile. Details of the story is found on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. This headline somehow looks contradicting. you are still asking for the increase of the minimum wage that was promised during the Independence Day, and you are still worried about the debt that the Nigerian government.
Why is like that is because now TUC are saying that if you guys are getting money to fund your budget and you are
lavishing it,
bringing out exorbitant or things that are not priorities, funding your yachts, your cars, your SUVs and all of that, and renovating the vice president house. What are all those things when you have Nigerians that are clamoring for a minimum wage that is not even up to
a bag of rice?
So they are not asking for too much. You promise 35,000, then you should continue in that line. What they are saying is continue in that line at the tail end, maybe increase it, look for an increment. This is not the time where we should be looking at funding things that are not necessary to us. The Nigerian citizens are important. You cannot be sitting in government and in power and enriching yourself, whereas we that voted you into power, we are suffering every day of our lives. We are finding it hard and finding it difficult to even pay for our transport to work. Now you took away subsidy from petroleum, making it more expensive for us to get fuel and diesel just so we can manage our businesses in terms of running it on a day-to-day basis, and for people that have cars that will purchase for just so they can transport themselves. So it's very difficult, and we that don't have cars, we jump from bus to bus and we find out that in coming days the prices of transportation is getting high every single day. So asking for 35,000 naira as a minimum wage it's not a bad thing, and that is what I think the government should look at. And for me, the minimum wage should be as high and even more than as the price of the bag of rice, so that every Nigerian citizen can afford bag of rice every year, every day, and that keeps on going.
Let's deviate a little bit. I feel one of these challenges that the Nigerian government is facing is there are a lot of government workers, ranging from the agricultural sector to the academic sector. There are a lot of government workers that are receiving this minimum wage. So increasing it would add 1 billion or more.
No, it's not about having it. So what, you don't want people to work? What you should be asking is that people that are up to the year of retirement should be retired. Because we found that
we should at least do a restructuring. Retrench those ones that are supposed to be retrench the ghost workers and people that, because I read some time ago that some persons that are up to the age of retirement, they still do not want to retire.
Yes, because what are the pension plans or pension structure that you have for these people? Serving your country for 35 years or more, and you're going back home and you are being promised 5, 10, 15 million, and you have to carry placards again just because you want to get your money that is being promised by the federal government. So what is that? For them, they tend to stay back and continue working as time goes on, maybe gather things for themselves, because every year we see people gather at State House or Federal House and they are asking for government to pay them their pension. This is not what Nigeria needs. They have to be a way. After serving your country, what are the benefits that Nigerian government have put in place? What are the structures they have put in place to pay these persons their pension and gratuity? Those are the things that we should be looking out for.
But back then in the university, there was a lecturer of mine that was very old. Looking at him, you would have a quick guess that he would be around the age of 80 to 90. Mm-hmm. But if you ask him, he would always say he's 55. And he was very old and looking very, very, very archaic.
No, we find that in our schools. And
so we see that most times it's even the Nigerians that we are even the ones doing ourselves. Some persons that hold these positions, let's say the head of this unit knows that these persons are not working, but because of tribalism, nepotism, and whatever thing that you stand to gain, you tend to then leave them in that position, and maybe you even gain from them financially.
Me, I'm not looking at it from that aspect. Though. Honestly speaking, I'm not looking at it from that aspect. My own bone of contention is, if you are saying these people should retire after 35 years or at the age of 60, 65, what are the basic plans you have or structure that you have put in place for them to continue on with their lives after serving the country for 35 years? Do you think that if you have a better structural plan of after job or after serving your country and you'll be given what you are promised, do you think this person would want to stay back? No. They won't want to stay back. Go to the US, go to the UK, we find people that after serving their country for how many years, whatever thing that the government is owing them is being paid to them. And if this same thing is happening here in our country, definitely people will go on with their lives.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I'm afraid that's where we draw the curtains for today. Thank you for staying up to this time. Like I said earlier, You too can also be a part of this program. Whatever headline that draws your attention, drop it on the comment section. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification button. Follow us across all our social media handle. Till we meet again next time, I am Obed Jerry, your host for today. And we meet here, we get it together, Econ Bright, the football AI, and this has been the news from Peru here on TAP TV. Thank you.